I can't help but thinking, like, why is it your phone ringing off the hook from every single state Medicaid administrator saying, holy cow, these guys actually solved a way for this to work?
It's a good question. I think, and it's an interesting one in the sense of where we've seen, I think, the most traction is actually from the payers, right? And I think part of it is the position that the payers have inside the ecosystem of healthcare today. You think about it of who's in that system. Obviously, there's the providers, there's the patient, there's employers. For most of the folks, there's the government. But the payers kind of have this privileged position at the middle where they have relationships with all those parties, right? And they have direct kind of one-to-one relationships with all those parties. And so the place where we've seen the most traction is with the payers for that precise reason, because in that position, they see the pain that this kind of the structural problems in the system are creating, right? Because we focus this conversation on the member side of it, right? Members have a hard time because they put off care. Members have a hard time because they take on interest-bearing debt to pay for these services. And members have a hard time because it's that uncertainty of what is this service going to cost, right? But there's other sides of pain too, right? The other side of the pain is for the providers, where I think in this country, they charge off something like $250 billion a year of bad debt for people who came, got services, didn't pay for them. And so the provider just has to look at it and say, hey, we're going to write this off. And so I think for folks that are like, whatever, you spend time in the financial sector, you sort of think about how a business like that runs, like that money can't just disappear, right? Like if you lose $250 billion a year, what you're going to do if you're the providers is you're going to say, well, I have to make that up somewhere. And the place I'm going to make that up is the place where I know I can collect money, which is from the payers. So what happens is rates go up. And then when rates go up, the premiums for the insurance goes up because the cost of the underlying service goes up, right? So a metaphor that's relatable for people, like it costs you a lot more to insure a $100,000 car than it does to insure a $5,000 car,